a day of celebration turns into chaos. Fire erupts at a packed block party.
Someone lost their life. Several people were hurt, and the attackers reportedly showed up looking for Blacc Sam at what was meant to be a joyful family celebration. This wasn't just another disturbing incident either. It marked the second time serious street tension spilled over at a Marathon Burger location, and the truth about what happened that day is honestly shocking. Blacc Sam was simply trying to carry forward his brother's dream, building something uplifting for the neighborhood and creating opportunity where it's needed most. But the complicated street politics tied to Long Beach had other ideas in the background. The grand opening of Marathon Burger didn't just turn into a chaotic situation. It revealed how deep local rivalries and pressure in these streets can really go, and why launching something positive in certain areas can come with heavy risks. To really understand how a happy family moment turned into a major emergency scene, we have to spin the story back to where it all began. Let's rewind to when Nipsey first imagined Marathon Burger. This idea was never just about selling burgers and fries. It was about economic power, ownership, and giving the community something real to be proud of. Nipsey always spoke loudly about ownership and building businesses that could hire people straight from the neighborhood. The goal was simple but powerful. Keep money moving inside the community instead of watching it flow out to big companies that have no real connection to the people living there. After Nipsey passed away, Blacc Sam stepped up and carried that vision on his shoulders, determined to keep the mission alive. And honestly, the first Marathon Burger spot in Los Angeles was a real success story. The Crenshaw location started pulling big crowds, creating jobs for locals, and proving that strong businesses could grow even in areas that outsiders once ignored. People weren't just showing up for the food either. They came through because they believed in what Nipsey stood for. Folks wanted to support something meaningful, something bigger than just another burger place on the block. The LA opening had a few bumps along the way, sure.
We're following this developing news. Long Beach police responding to the newly opened Marathon Burger in Long Beach. News Chopper 4 was up over the downtown area earlier today, where we saw several police vehicles outside of the restaurant. Right there, you could see them. Police tape stretching across the parking lots as well as into some apartments. Today was the grand opening of that new Marathon Burger location. Plenty of people.
But the community stood behind it strong. Celebrities were stopping by and showing respect. Local families were making it their regular hangout, and young people were landing jobs and building experience instead of getting pulled into trouble. It became real proof that Nipsey's vision could actually work in the real world. Economic growth was possible, even in neighborhoods that big companies had overlooked for years. But this is where the story starts to get complicated. When you're building something big in certain areas, especially when your name carries that much attention, you're not just dealing with customers anymore. You're also stepping into local politics, long-standing neighborhood rivalries, and people who might see your success as either pressure or an opportunity. In many communities, success can bring attention you didn't ask for, and not everyone is happy to see someone rising up. Blacc Sam made the call to expand the brand into Long Beach, and that's when the situation started getting tense. Long Beach has its own deep neighborhood dynamics, its own history, and long-running territorial issues that stretch back for decades. So when you bring a high-profile business into an environment like that, you automatically become part of the conversation, whether you plan for it or not. You're no longer just a business owner running a restaurant. You become a symbol, a message to the streets, and sometimes that kind of spotlight brings the wrong type of attention. And here's the part many people don't realize. This wasn't even the first serious incident connected to a Marathon Burger location. There had already been tension building, moments that showed these businesses were attracting both strong community support and unwanted drama at the same time. The spotlight around the brand was growing fast, and not everyone watching had positive intentions. Still, Blacc Sam stayed locked in on the mission. He was focused on serving the community his brother believed in and continuing the vision Nipsey talked about for years, even knowing there could be challenges along the way. Opening in Long Beach wasn't some rushed move either. It was a calculated step toward expanding the impact of the Marathon brand. The goal was to bring jobs, opportunity, and pride to more neighborhoods while proving that Nipsey's vision could reach far beyond one block or one city. But expanding into new territory also meant stepping into a whole new set of local dynamics, long-standing rivalries, and groups who might not fully respect what was being built. The tension reportedly started even before the grand opening. Long Beach has neighborhood lines and alliances that have existed for decades, with certain groups having deep histories in the area. These aren't simple disagreements either. In places where long-standing rivalries run deep, simply showing up in the wrong area can lead to serious consequences. So when a grand opening gets announced with celebrities, successful entrepreneurs, and respected community leaders all gathering in one location, it instantly draws attention from all directions. Events like that can attract people looking to make a statement or prove something in front of a crowd. For some individuals tied to street circles, high-profile gatherings can feel like opportunities to be noticed, to send messages, or to confront rivals when they least expect it. And according to several witnesses who were present that day, one young guy connected to the 80s showed up alone at the grand opening. Now that alone raised eyebrows right away. Pulling up solo into an area where tensions already exist isn't typical behavior unless someone is extremely bold or trying to prove a point. People around quickly noticed his energy was different from everyone else who came to celebrate the event. Witnesses say the situation started getting uncomfortable when the guy began loudly disrespecting rival groups right in the middle of the Marathon Burger opening. Remember, this was supposed to be a positive family event with big names like Snoop Dogg, Big Boy, and YG. But this individual was flashing signs, shouting insults toward rival neighborhoods, and pushing things in a way that quickly grabbed attention. Sources say the comments weren't subtle at all either. People nearby reported that he was calling out rivals directly and speaking aggressively, acting like he was trying to challenge people around him.
The disrespect happening in the open was so obvious that people felt it couldn't just be ignored without something escalating. But here's where the situation gets even more intense. While that guy was out there stirring things up, the people he was challenging, many of them in the crowd, decided to approach Blacc Sam directly. They weren't trying to ruin the grand opening or disrespect the family at all. In fact, witnesses say they approached him calmly because they understood this was Nipsey's brother's event and something positive for the community. But their message was serious and urgent. They told him that the situation needed to be handled before things spiraled out of control. According to people who were nearby, the conversation between them and Blacc Sam stayed respectful but tense. They explained exactly who the guy was, what kind of tension he was creating, and why the situation was becoming risky if it continued. Their main point was simple. If the disruption didn't stop, the crowd might react on their own. And that's the last thing anyone wanted at a family celebration meant to represent unity and growth. But right in the middle of all this discussion, the situation shifted again. 3 more individuals connected to the 80s reportedly arrived at the scene. Now, suddenly there were 4 of them in an area where many others in the crowd had long-standing issues with that group. Imagine the pressure in that moment. Dozens of people watching, tensions rising, and nobody wanting things to get out of hand at an event meant to celebrate progress. The 3 who had just arrived didn't fully realize their friend had already been causing problems earlier. From their point of view, they simply saw someone they knew standing in the middle of a tense crowd. Meanwhile, people around them continued urging Blacc Sam to step in and calm the situation down. Blacc Sam found himself in a tough position. On one side, he wanted to welcome everybody and keep the event open to the whole community. On the other side, he had to prevent a serious situation from breaking out during an event meant to honor his brother's legacy. So he reportedly agreed to help guide the 4 80s members away from the area safely. This move was Blacc Sam trying to handle things the right way. He didn't want tension spilling over into a public scene, especially not at a celebration connected to his brother's vision. That day was supposed to be a moment of pride for Long Beach. The Marathon Burger grand opening brought together celebrities, community leaders, local families, and supporters from all over. It looked like the kind of positive event Nipsey always talked about when he spoke on economic growth and building strong businesses in overlooked communities. Kids were enjoying free food, local leaders were speaking about opportunity and development, and the whole atmosphere was meant to represent hope and forward movement. But as Blacc Sam and his team began walking the 4 80s members away from the property, nobody realized how tense the moment had become. According to witnesses, Blacc Sam stayed respectful the whole time. He approached the group calmly and reportedly told them, "I appreciate y'all coming." His focus was keeping the situation under control while making sure the celebration didn't turn into something completely different. According to witnesses, Blacc Sam kept things respectful but direct. He reportedly told them, "I appreciate the support for what we're building here, but the politics is politicking right now. Y'all gotta go, but we gonna make sure y'all get to your cars without any problems." His goal was simple:
keep the event calm, and move the tension away from the celebration. The four 80s members agreed to leave because they trusted Blacc Sam to guide them out without the situation turning ugly. From their perspective, they believed they were getting a secure path away from the crowd and back to their vehicles without anyone causing problems along the way. But there was something they didn't fully understand. Blacc Sam wasn't about to step into deeper neighborhood conflicts happening across Long Beach. His responsibility was to his business, his family, and protecting the legacy his brother worked so hard to build. So as they walked together with Blacc Sam and a few of his team members, the group moved toward the parking area thinking everything was being handled calmly. The distance from the restaurant entrance to the edge of the property wasn't very far, but it was long enough for tension in the crowd to keep rising. People were watching closely, emotions were building, and the energy around the area was shifting fast. By the time they reached the outer edge of the Marathon Burger property, Blacc Sam reportedly stopped walking with them. That's when he made his position clear. Witnesses say he told them, "This is as far as we can take y'all. We're not getting involved in Long Beach politics. Y'all on your own from here." It was a firm boundary. The moment Blacc Sam and his crew stepped back from the situation, the crowd rushed in fast. Witnesses say it was four guys suddenly surrounded by a massive group, possibly close to 100 people watching and moving in. The situation turned intense almost instantly, and it was clear the odds were completely uneven as people began confronting them from every direction. According to people nearby, some individuals had already been waiting for a response after the earlier disrespect inside the restaurant. Tension had been building the whole time. But then, the same young 80s member who had been talking aggressively earlier, the one who sparked the whole situation, suddenly pulled out a firearm and started firing in an attempt to push people back and create space for his crew. And that's the exact moment the situation became extremely dangerous. When fire starts in a crowded area filled with hundreds of people, things can spiral out of control fast. Families, bystanders, and people who only came to celebrate were suddenly caught in the middle of a frightening scene. One big problem in these moments is that people assume they're the only ones carrying protection. But in reality, several individuals in environments like this may also be armed. So once one person starts firing, others may react instantly. Just minutes earlier, that same parking lot was full of people celebrating a positive moment for the community. Families were smiling, music was playing, and supporters were excited about a new business bringing opportunity to the neighborhood. But the footage captured that day shows how quickly everything shifted into confusion and panic, and it's honestly difficult to watch. In the videos circulating online, you can see people scrambling for safety as the situation unfolds. Blacc Sam is seen moving quickly to cover while helping someone from his team who had been struck in the leg during the chaos. At the same time, Barry Gordon from No Jumper can reportedly be heard speaking with police, saying he believed he may have been hit while trying to understand what had just happened. All around the area, civilians were diving behind vehicles and nearby objects, trying to stay safe. People were shouting, calling for help, and trying to figure out where the danger was coming from. The same ground where kids had been playing moments earlier was suddenly part of a frightening scene no one expected. Reports later said that two individuals involved in the confrontation were injured but survived after being treated for non-life-threatening wounds. They were taken to the hospital and eventually recovered. But the young 80s member who had been at the center of the earlier confrontation did not survive the incident. He collapsed at the scene, and incredibly, parts of the moment were captured on live stream. One of the most unsettling details from the footage is hearing someone continue their live stream commentary, even saying things like "keep gifting" and thanking viewers for donations while the emergency was still unfolding. As authorities began arriving at the scene, the entire area quickly shifted from celebration to an active emergency response. Police vehicles, ambulances, and investigators filled the parking lot while officers worked to secure the area and make sure no further danger remained. What had been a grand opening just moments earlier was now surrounded by flashing lights and caution tape. Witnesses were being questioned, videos were being reviewed, and people who had attended the event were still trying to process what they had just experienced. Many families who came out simply to support the business left shaken by how fast everything escalated. For Blacc Sam, the situation was especially heavy. The event was meant to honor the vision his brother built, creating opportunity, bringing jobs to the community, and showing that positive businesses could thrive in places often overlooked. Instead, the day became a reminder of how complicated things can become when success, attention, and long-standing street tensions collide. Community leaders later spoke about the importance of protecting spaces meant for growth and opportunity. Many supporters of the Marathon brand said the mission behind the restaurant still matters even after such a difficult moment, because at the heart of everything Nipsey talked about was ownership, unity, and building something better for the next generation. The gunfire happened so close to the entrance of Marathon Burger that many people in the crowd were still within the area when everything unfolded. Several civilians were injured during the chaos, people who had simply come to support a positive local business. Families had shown up thinking they were attending a safe community celebration, bringing kids and friends to enjoy the grand opening. Most of them had nothing to do with neighborhood conflicts, yet they suddenly found themselves caught in the middle of a frightening situation. What followed was a massive investigation that revealed just how complicated the events of that day really were. It also raised serious questions about community safety and the challenges that sometimes come with launching high-profile businesses in areas with long-standing tensions. Long Beach police units arrived quickly and began securing the area almost immediately. Paramedics rushed in to help the injured, while emergency crews worked to move people to nearby hospitals as fast as possible. News helicopters circled above the scene, capturing the aftermath from the sky. Police tape stretched across sections of the parking lot, investigators documenting evidence, and emergency vehicles moving in and out of the area. Because the incident took place in such a crowded environment, the investigation became extremely complex. Officers had to speak to hundreds of witnesses, review numerous videos, and gather evidence from multiple locations around the property to piece together exactly what took place and who was responsible. But another challenge quickly appeared. Many people who witnessed the events were hesitant to speak with investigators because they worried about potential street repercussions for cooperating with law enforcement. In the hours after everything happened, the emotional impact spread far beyond the scene itself. Celebrities, business leaders, and community figures who had come to support Nipsey's legacy were left shaken by what they saw. Snoop Dogg had arrived to celebrate a moment of growth and positivity, yet ended up witnessing a terrifying situation instead. YG, who grew up in similar environments, reportedly saw firsthand how quickly positive progress can get overshadowed by long-standing street tensions. According to sources close to the situation, several high-profile guests left the event deeply shaken by what they witnessed. Some even expressed hesitation about returning to large community events in certain neighborhoods after that experience. And that's where the real tragedy hits even harder. The incident didn't just result in loss and injuries, it also affected future opportunities for communities that truly need investment in positive businesses. Moments like this can make investors and supporters think twice, even when the original mission was about uplifting the neighborhood.
The impact spread far beyond the celebrities who attended that day. Local families who came with their children expecting a joyful celebration left feeling shocked and unsettled by how quickly the atmosphere changed. Community leaders who had proudly promoted the restaurant opening as a symbol of growth suddenly had to answer difficult questions from residents about how such a hopeful event turned into a crisis. Situations like this can reinforce negative stereotypes about certain neighborhoods, making it harder for future entrepreneurs to gain support when they try to open businesses in similar areas. And that's one of the biggest setbacks, because the communities that need opportunity the most can end up facing even more obstacles afterward. Meanwhile, tensions on the streets didn't just disappear after the event ended. One group had lost a young member, and emotions in situations like that often run extremely high. Rivalries that already existed can become even more intense, continuing a cycle of retaliation and conflict that many leaders, including Nipsey himself, spent years speaking out against. The loss of that young 8 Trays member didn't just mark the end of one life, it also raised fears about what might happen next. In street conflicts, one incident rarely stands alone. Situations like this can create long chains of retaliation that stretch for months or even years,
pulling in more people and putting entire communities under pressure. Families, friends, and neighborhoods often feel the impact long after the original incident fades from the headlines. At the same time, Blacc Sam was placed in an incredibly difficult position. By most accounts, he tried to handle the situation calmly and responsibly from the beginning. He worked to cool tensions, offered to escort the group off the property safely, and made it clear he didn't want his brother's business tied to neighborhood disputes that had nothing to do with the restaurant. But because the chaos unfolded so close to the event, and because his name is connected to the Marathon brand name, his role instantly became part of the public conversation, whether he wanted that attention or not. When something dramatic happens at a high-profile event, the spotlight quickly turns toward the people connected to it. Meanwhile, the official investigation is still continuing. Authorities have reportedly reviewed multiple videos and pieces of evidence from the scene and have been working to identify individuals involved in the incident. However, situations connected to long-standing street rivalries can make investigations complicated, especially when witnesses worry about speaking publicly. What happened at the Marathon Burger opening in Long Beach changed the conversation around community investment in a big way. For many people, this wasn't just another incident. It raised serious questions about how positive projects can survive in areas dealing with long-standing tensions. Blacc Sam's response to this situation could shape a lot about how Nipsey's legacy continues moving forward. The difficult question in front of him now is what the next step should be. Should future locations continue opening in neighborhoods that still struggle with safety concerns? Should new spots be placed in areas where families can comfortably enjoy a meal without worrying about sudden chaos around them? Or should the team stay fully committed to the original mission, even knowing the risks that can come with it? The hip-hop community took a powerful lesson from what happened that day, and it goes way beyond just one restaurant opening. You can have resources, celebrity support, and genuine intentions to help a community grow. But when long-standing tensions in an area remain unresolved, even positive projects can face serious challenges. Big names like Snoop Dogg, Big Boy, and YG were there to support the moment and celebrate something positive. Yet even the presence of respected artists and successful figures wasn't enough to keep the situation from escalating. In some ways, large celebrity gatherings can actually bring more attention to an event, both positive and negative. This situation also revealed something important about celebrity involvement in community development. Famous supporters can shine a spotlight on good projects, bring resources, and inspire people. But at the same time, high-profile events sometimes attract individuals looking for attention or trying to prove something in front of a crowd. While the investigation continues and the family figures out whether reopening is the right move, the original LA Marathon Burger location is still up and running. It's still serving the neighborhood, still creating jobs, and still representing that bigger vision of economic empowerment that Nipsey always talked about. But the big question hanging in the air right now is simple. How many more incidents can happen before that vision becomes too difficult to maintain? The impact goes way beyond just Marathon Burger. Other entrepreneurs who were thinking about investing in similar neighborhoods are now stepping back and thinking twice. Some business owners who once felt inspired by Nipsey's blueprint for ownership and community growth are now wondering if the risks might outweigh the rewards. That single incident didn't just affect one family or one restaurant. It may have shaken confidence in economic development for communities that truly need real businesses, real opportunities, and real job creation. No cap, this situation highlights a deeper issue. When street influence starts carrying more weight than business leadership, progress becomes way harder to protect. When territorial drama becomes louder than economic opportunity, it creates an environment where positive projects struggle to survive. And that's the heartbreaking part of it all. The people who suffer the most from these situations aren't the loudest voices in the conflict. It's the everyday families who just want safe places to eat, shop, and spend time together. It's the parents hoping their kids can find jobs, build careers, and grow up around opportunity instead of constant tension.
What makes situations like this even more painful
is how entire neighborhoods end up paying the price for the actions of only a small number of people. Everyday residents, families, workers, and young people trying to build a future end up losing opportunities that were meant for them. When businesses can't guarantee a safe environment for customers or employees, it becomes extremely difficult for those businesses to survive long term. And that's the position Blacc Sam found himself in. He was trying to honor his brother's legacy, trying to build something positive, and trying to bring jobs and opportunity to Long Beach. The goal behind Marathon Burger was bigger than just selling food. It was about ownership, community pride, and creating real employment for people who needed it most. Dozens of jobs could have been created. Thousands of families could have enjoyed a positive gathering place, and the business could have represented growth in the neighborhood. That's why the outcome hit so hard. It's not only about one incident or one business facing setbacks. It's also about the message moments like this send to other entrepreneurs who might have been thinking about investing in communities that deserve more opportunities. When unpredictable situations become part of the conversation, it naturally makes investors more cautious. Safety concerns, community tensions, and uncertainty can make business owners hesitate before opening new locations in areas that actually need development the most. And that ripple effect spreads quickly. Projects get delayed, investors pull back, and the communities hoping for new jobs and new businesses are the ones left waiting the longest. There's also a bigger conversation happening in hip-hop culture because of moments like this. Nipsey's vision of economic empowerment, artists investing in their own neighborhoods, building businesses, and creating opportunities was inspiring a whole generation of entrepreneurs. Since that day, the conversation around Marathon Burger and Nipsey's vision has only grown louder. Supporters across the hip-hop world, business leaders, and community organizers have all been debating the same question. How do you keep building positive businesses in places that still deal with heavy street pressure? For many people, Nipsey's blueprint was always about long-term change, not quick results. He believed ownership could slowly shift the culture of a neighborhood by creating jobs, circulating money locally, and giving young people examples of success they could actually see up close. But moments like the Long Beach incident show how complicated that mission can become. When a positive event turns into a chaotic situation, it forces everyone involved to rethink strategy, security, and how community projects are introduced into environments where tensions may already exist. Some supporters believe the answer is stronger security and tighter planning for large public events. Others argue the focus should be on smaller steps, opening businesses quietly, building trust in the area first, and letting the project grow naturally without massive attention on day one. One thing most people seem to agree on, though, is this. Nipsey's idea of ownership and community investment still matters. A lot of people are now watching closely to see how Blacc Sam responds after rivals disrupted the restaurant's grand opening. Everyone who believes in Nipsey's vision is paying attention. The big question is simple but serious. What comes next? Does he step back and move future businesses into areas that are easier to protect? Does he relocate operations and leave behind neighborhoods that may actually need investment the most? Or does he keep pushing forward with the same mission, just with stronger planning and tighter security around future events? That decision could shape the future of Nipsey's legacy in a major way. His message about economic empowerment, ownership, and building businesses inside the community inspired millions of people. But moments like the Long Beach incident show how difficult it can be to turn that vision into reality when tensions and long-standing conflicts still exist in the background. At the end of the day, real progress in any neighborhood requires a shared mindset. Communities have to decide that growth is more important than rivalry, that opportunity matters more than personal disputes, and that family events should always be respected spaces. If those priorities don't shift, moments like this risk repeating themselves again and again. And sadly, the people who suffer the most are usually the everyday families who simply wanted to support something positive. They're the ones who brought their kids to celebrate a new business. They're the ones hoping for job opportunities, safe places to eat, and real progress in their neighborhoods. When situations like this interrupt that progress, entire communities can lose out on opportunities that were meant to help them grow. If you believe in the message Nipsey was pushing about ownership and building up the community, drop a like on this video and share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that break down what's really happening behind the headlines.